Hello, everyone. Today, Rajiv, Amir, and I got together here for a quick chat on the artificial intelligence, the trends we are seeing in the industry, and especially in the Salesforce space. So before we get started, let's quickly introduce ourselves. I'm Venu Khari. I'm a director at SmartBridge. I've been with the company for over 20 years. I lead the Salesforce and integration service lines here at SmartBridge. Rajiv, you want to go next?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here, and then glad to also share our insights and the intelligence as well that we are uh, collecting from various clients of ours. This is a very exciting time where AI essentially is fueling every business out there, and most of the companies are actually capitalizing on that as well. So before that, my background, I actually worked in the industry, energy utilities, leading AI transformations for the enterprises. And then what I do at SmartBridge actually helps me take that and then use it across various domains. So I'm serving as a managing director of innovation and analytics. I work along with Venu to help our clients. And I have experience in data science, generative AI, and then also have data engineering teams. All of us work in cohesion to help the clients to generate AI solutions.
Okay, Amir.
I'll go ahead. So, hey guys, again, thank you for joining us. So I'm Amir. So I'm the Salesforce manager over at SmartBridge. I've been with the company for about 5 years now. I think going over to my sixth year at this point, and glad to be here.
And Amir is a Salesforce architect and comes with a lot of Salesforce experience. And today's topic about AI in Salesforce is of a lot of interest to Amir. So looking forward to talking to him on that. So let's start with the history a little bit. So my first memory of talking about AI was back in late 90s when I was still in the college. One of my professors, he wrote a paper about artificial intelligence. Back then, it was still very academic. We didn't even fully comprehend all the applications of AI. It was a fancy topic, and I said, when I go into the industry, I'm going to work on AI. But didn't do that for 25 years. And finally, I'm excited we are getting opportunities to work on AI. So Salesforce also has been thinking about AI. I know Salesforce started as a CRM system based back in 98, 99, and then it grew into a full-on application development platform with a lot of applications in different areas. And its AI focus, I'd say, started back in 2014, and it started acquiring. And that has always been Salesforce's strategy. Whenever they wanted to get into a new space, they would acquire a company, always faster than growing organically. So between 2014 and 2017, they've acquired 3 companies in AI and data science space. Then between 2018 and 2021, it became more formal. The predictive AI capabilities were launched. And more recently, Data Cloud was launched. Even though Data Cloud is not technically an AI initiative, but without the data, AI is meaningless, right? So that was part of Salesforce's strategy to get the data together. So all the Einstein's intelligence capabilities are more effective and more meaningful for their business users. And then 2022 onwards, ChatGPT came about after COVID. And then Salesforce's focus also moved from predictive AI into more generative AI, and a lot of work went into it. And more recently, Einstein Copilot launched, and that's when it became official Salesforce product, generative AI space. So let's look at Salesforce's capabilities overall in the AI space. So the predictive AI, we have known about Salesforce's predictive capabilities for a while now. If you think AI a couple of years ago, Einstein came with all the predictive AI capabilities. A lot of research went into it. If someone is still not using Salesforce's predictive AI capabilities, you are losing out, I would say. You should try your best to use the AI capabilities. They are around Sales Cloud, mainly the Einstein's activity capture feature, all the scoring capabilities, whether it's lead scoring or opportunity scoring, that's its AI function, and the next best action. So Salesforce has the ability to suggest based on how the opportunity is progressing, has the ability to suggest what can you do as a sales rep to close this deal, and the predictive forecasting. You're looking at your results from revenue and closures and see where you would end up at the quarter, giving some predictive analytics around it. Salesforce does a pretty good job in the Sales Cloud area with the predictive AI capabilities. And that has been there for a while, and a lot of research went into it. The conversational AI and generative AI, they are relatively new. On the conversational AI, Einstein now has conversational mining capability. So that means it can look at all the emails, it can look at the conversations from chatbots, and allow you to build reports on and get you deeper insights. And Einstein chatbots, I know Amir has built chatbots here, and he'll talk about it in a few minutes. So Einstein bots have been there for a while, and also call summaries. So you have your calls, you document it, and then it can summarize that for you very easily. So around conversations, understanding email exchanges, chat messages, and getting insights out, Salesforce has started doing a very good job with those. And the newest kid in the block, generative AI, they went back and forth. It was called Einstein GPT when it was first launched last year. And now Salesforce has settled on the brand name Einstein Copilot. And Copilot is integrated with pretty much all Salesforce's products at this point. Sales and service I've seen. Marketing Cloud also has the ability to integrate with Einstein Copilot. It gives you this easy to use user interface, chatting style interface where you can simply ask Einstein some questions. You can ask it to give you a personalized close plan for an opportunity. You can ask it to research a customer and account for you. So it is pretty good. But before we go deep into generative AI capabilities of Salesforce, Rajiv here, he has a lot of experience in this area. So Rajiv, I'd like you to talk about what you're seeing in the industry in general with AI and especially generative AI.
Wonderful. So, first of all, I have the pleasure of leading an amazing AI team of practitioners, full stack data scientists, and engineers that build the enterprise AI adoption at our clients. And then we also see how that's helping the businesses, transforming the businesses, whether it be intelligent customer experiences or new class of products that have been launched over the past few years. So the way how I look at it is it's a job function based. One way to look at it would be how it's helping marketing, how it's helping sales, how it's helping service professionals, engineers, and how the overall base model, the foundational models, and the capabilities that were provided as a result of it, that is helping all these job functions, right? So now there are times where we actually suggest products to them. There are times where we build solutions. That can be a manufacturing client wanting to get access to the shop floor manuals or the quality control manuals within a minute, for example, right? Or on the other side of the spectrum, or a different industry, you might be looking at a QSR, a quick service restaurant industry client, who is trying to use the calls that are coming into a service center about faulty equipment, you know, and then having the ability to transcribe the call and then apply classic machine learning to identify the solution, come up with optimal solution, and then give it back to the either the service professional or the end user itself. So these are, again, there are many applications. As I said, it is actually good penetrating into every job function out there, and these themes are common across various industries. But really, over the last few years, the pace of innovation is rapidly increasing. And then, in fact, the technology was with the classic and traditional AI, I would say, if you look at the progress, if it was at a 45 degree, with the generative AI, it actually kind of took that to even 80 degrees or so, right? Or if not close to 90 degrees. And obviously the businesses and the are actually going at this pace. So the gap per se that existed in between before actually increased exponentially in some aspects. Now, our job here is to help close that gap, make sure that we provide clarity, education sessions, put a strategy together, create a pilot, and then help them take this application or a use case that led into something usable, a usable product, and then create operations around it. So there is a term, LLM ops is a term that's coined out there that leverages the LLM, large language models. So that is the journey that I talked about here. So the key is the approach that goes into from the starting point of being able to identify the use case all the way to creating a business process and then have consistency around using this solution for this business process that leverages generative AI, for example. Now, what you see on the obviously AI is everywhere. So, for example, as a slide here can also indicate all the way from real estate agents to technology industries to advertising to underwriting. Every industry, every aspect of it is getting transformed essentially. So, with that said, there is actually one more thing I want to hit. We have obviously Venu hit on ChatGPT and then how it came into existence in the post-COVID area, right? 2023 is when most of the folks heard about it. But when you step back and look at the journey of this or other generative AI applications in the market today, there are hundreds of applications that are available in the marketplace. Okay, 100 plus applications that people can buy. And the journey of these applications started somewhere around in the pre-COVID area, 2018, 2019, really when there were GPT-1, GPT 2.0 was actually being developed. So there was a journey for this GPT applications, and then obviously technology industry was a bit ahead, but then when there was an explosion of the users getting onto ChatGPT, that's where everybody started to hear about it. But all in all, my point is it has been here for a few years, and it is being used by a lot of industries, and we ourselves are actually seeing across various industries the use cases to help the business leaders deliver more, whether it be customer experience, whether it be revenue growth, whether it be business optimization, or most of the times it's a combination of all these three. And the resources that it takes to get there are probably half of what it typically takes if you want to build something like this. So that's the potential here: smarter, faster, better, essentially. So with that said, let me hand it over back to Venu.
Yep. Thank you, Rajiv. Appreciate that. So it is Now we are seeing all these applications and it's very powerful and everybody is talking about it. But at the same time, you need to be careful about it. We need a system or a product that you can trust. So, for example, I read a few months back, apparently there was this case, a personal injury case with an airline company a few months back, or even last year, where a lawyer, a New York-based lawyer, decided to use ChatGPT to prepare his legal response. And he used ChatGPT and asked for citations, and ChatGPT came back with 6 fake citations. So, and because the data was not grounded in reality, the data was not grounded in real customer data there. So it came with 6 citations, and he used it in the legal response, and he received sanctions because the judge didn't take that lightly. The obviously the defense attorneys pointed out airline company pays good for their lawyers, so they pointed out that these cases don't exist anywhere in the world. So they were asked to explain, and they didn't do a good job explaining, so they got fined. So what you have to be careful. It cannot be a chat GPT type ungrounded solution. Any generative AI an enterprise uses, any generative AI solution an enterprise can use has to be grounded in reality. So a simple question sent to LLM and getting a response will not cut it. It will not be sufficient for an enterprise generative AI. So there has to be, that's where Salesforce brings its what they call Einstein trust layer. So this layer, any prompt, any question that is sent to the large language model, LLM, before LLM can do its thing, it has to be qualified with the data has to be grounded. In case of any personally identifiable data, the data needs to be masked. In case of medical device and life sciences customers that I work with quite a bit, this becomes even more important. You don't want to send patient data out in the cloud. So this needs to be very proper, very carefully managed. And LLM should not be retaining your data. The danger is in both ways. You don't want to be using fake data, and you don't want to be sending your customer data out in the cloud. So both ways. And then sometimes LLM can be toxic. It can give you profanities or bad responses back. The good generative AI system needs to have the capabilities to detect toxicity and manage that. So Einstein trust layer does all of that very well before it interacts with the LLM and gives the response back. So how does it do it? So let's look at the architecture published by Salesforce on how Einstein 1 works, and it does it. So what you don't see on the slide here is it doesn't show the Hyperforce layer. You must have heard a lot about Hyperforce. Hyperforce is basically Levanova, the Salesforce's public cloud network, right? It's all in AWS now. It's trusted, and then there is data cloud sitting on top of that, because the data that you need for generative AI to work correctly may not all be in your CRM system. The data could be across the enterprise. So Salesforce's data cloud helps you bring all of that data together and feed it into the model. And then the Salesforce has the ability to use, it comes with its own model, but also has the ability to use other models. So the right model for the right task is what Salesforce says. So it allows you to bring other, it uses other models, first of all. Salesforce partners with other model vendors to bring in the right models, and also allows us to use our own custom model if required. And then on top of that model, there is trust layer. And we can customize the capabilities with Einstein 1 Studio. You can build our own prompts and build our own automations using flows and standard Salesforce automations. And finally, expose all this functionality in the user interface, whether it be in Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, or any other Salesforce products. So Einstein 1 packages all this cleanly, brings in that Einstein trust layer to resolve some of the challenges that we discussed in the previous slide, and brings all the enterprise data together. So that's what Salesforce brings to the table. And all this is exposed via Einstein Copilot. Einstein Copilot is the heart of how Salesforce exposes generative AI to its end users. So I'll let Amir speak about Einstein Copilot some more in the detail. Amir?
Thanks, Vinu. So I want to talk about what is Einstein Copilot, like what does it do? So basically what it is in a nutshell. So Einstein Copilot basically takes your CRM data, it evaluates it and gives you meaningful information out of it in a conversational form. So think of it asking, hey, I'm on this account record and I want to know how it's doing in the industry. So you can go in real time, get your information about it, and then in a meaningful way so you can interact with it. And then a lot of people can want to ask, like, how do you configure Einstein in your system? Like, how does it get set up? So Einstein Copilot is part of a package called Einstein Copilot Studio. That's what you use to start configuring the component. And Einstein Copilot Studio is actually part of 3 other items as well. So you have the prompt builder. So you use that to create your prompts on how you're going to ask your questions, or how you're going to communicate with the Copilot system. And with prompt builder, you can make it a lot easier for your users. So you could say in a way that you want them to follow a tone that's approved by your business. So you build your prompt so in such a way that your users just click on it and then add the questions they want to ask, but it also keeps in touch on the way your business wants to keep every conversation, like how it will generate a response, how it brings it back to use. Also, how and part of configuring it also comes with actions. So actions define on what can the AI tool can do. What can a Copilot do? Like in certain cases, we can say, for example, a user is wanting to get a status on their order. Einstein Copilot could always say, like, I cannot give you that information. Well, that's only because the action isn't there. It doesn't have access to that object. So that's where actions come into play. Like, what can it get? What kind of information can it get? So you configure the prompts, you configure the actions, and with all that packaged in, you can build your Einstein Copilot to work the way your business needs. So you control exactly the information it's providing, and it doesn't get too much. So again, I think as Vinny also mentioned, like patients are a big one in terms of security. So you don't want the Copilot giving you sensitive patient information back. So that's where, again, you use the actions component to control what it gets for you. Moving on to some use cases, I've mentioned a couple right now in terms of like how a salesperson uses it, but you could say like if a service user is using Copilot, they can do the same thing. They can ask about, hey, where is this order for me? And then what Copilot could do is check your system's data, and if the information is not only in your CRM, it's actually in another application and your Copilot is connected accordingly, it can go to that other application and get information back as well, saying, okay, we reviewed your CRM, we reviewed your other application. Based off all that information, here's what we got back, that, okay, this person's orders may be delayed, and we would propose this response to them, and then kind of help you out on how to work that situation. Marketing could use Copilot as well. So you could say like you have a marketing campaign going on that you want to reach out to certain type of prospects. What Copilot could do, again, with the information it has on hand, it could say that with a list of prospects that we have. We say that the ones that are bucketed in bucket A, there's bucket B. Well, in this case, it could also check to see, like, at this point in time, we don't think this prospect is good enough for bucket B anymore. They actually are a good target for bucket A. So it can actually help you decide where they should fall using your data and how it's changing. So you don't have to keep in touch with it at all times. And then finally, admins can use a Copilot as well. And I would say me that does a lot of configuration and manages a lot of configuration. It's a really good tool to use. It'll allow you to configure flows. It'll allow you to configure your formulas. So it lets you read your formulas. And if you're not a developer and you want to learn, Copilot can also make code for you. So it can actually help you learn and verify code if you're an experienced developer and keep you on track and where you are. So it helps everybody across the board. So it's really good to have. Finally, I'm going to touch up on the licensing costs and how much it will set you on if you want to get this. So Einstein One Sales, there's a package called Einstein One Sales or Service Edition. So basically, it's $500 a month a user, and it'll give you full access to all the Einstein Copilot features, such as chatbots, the whole Copilot package, and everything you'll need. So you'll be basically all set to good to go. But if you're an enterprise or unlimited user, you can simply get the add-on, which is about $75 per user per month. And that will basically allow you to just keep what licensing you have and just get the add-on for you. And one final thing is before you want to say you want to like kind of get a hands-on feel before signing up for anything, Salesforce is currently providing a developer edition for Einstein Copilot or the Einstein One edition. So it's only for 5 days, but it can get you good exposure on how the tool works and get an idea before you want to sign up for it. So that's all I have. I'll go ahead and pass it back to Gunu.
All right. Rajiv, why don't you summarize and close for us?
Awesome. This is a super exciting conversation as you actually heard about the AI from the inception of it from all the way from 1990s to where we are today, where AI and specifically generative AI in combination with the traditional AI is running the businesses across all job functions, right? So all in all, that means AI is much bigger than the CRM that was focus of the presentation. So what we essentially do is it's like a fuel that runs the modern enterprise that actually shapes the businesses and fuels these businesses for the future growth, like what I said before. So my point here is as you look at the usage of the data, the intelligence, and the application of AI across your businesses, let us help you in terms of data governance, education, strategy, and also help you build this so-called LLM-based operations, right? LLM ops, and then help you get to the next state, the future brands, as we say, we are planning to, or we are building here for SmartBridge customers.
Excellent.
That's all I have, Venu.
All right. Thank you, Rajiv and Amir, for your time. And I hope it was a good conversation and people get something out of this. And like Rajiv said, if you have any further questions, please reach out to us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.